Hello everybody and welcome to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. It's round 6 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS. And coming up on today's show, we've got Andrea ADAMO from Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. We've got Kevin STRIJBOS, who's the team trainer for Fantic Factory MXGP. And we've got Herjan BRAKKE coming in as well, who's the Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 team manager as well. But before we go there, Lisa Leyland, here we are. Happy Easter, by the way.
Thank you.
It's going to be a long weekend, isn't it?
It is going
2K from the paddock to the track. Loving that walk.
At least we get our steps in, because I need to burn off those Easter eggs you keep giving me every morning.
Yeah.
So the track and the paddock layout, that works for me.
Don't mention
I can burn the kilos off.
Don't mention the Easter eggs that man gave you as well this morning.
Yeah, I need to thank them for that.
Yeah, big bag of eggs. Loving life.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we are in Switzerland. Yeah, nice track, all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. Should we crack on with the show?
Yeah.
Come on. Andrea ADAMO, come on, take a seat. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, here he is. And, man, what a couple of, well, 2 or 3 rounds he's having at the moment. Absolutely on fire. And, Andrea, welcome to our studio show. Welcome to Switzerland. Happy Easter. I think this is probably your second best start to MX2 season so far, in terms of where you are in terms of points off of the lead. I think 18 just off the lead. But, you know, in terms of that overall, it's been a positive start in 2025, hasn't it? After 5 rounds.
No, of course, has been. I'm super happy about my start. I mean, we have a little bit everything that you need to have coming into a season. We have the fitness, we have the consistency. Looks like we have also improving a little bit the starts, which is helping me quite a lot, because I was always used to come from the back, but you know, when you are in the back, it's always a little bit more risky. So I've been feeling good all the races so far. So I'm pretty happy about my start of the season.
Yeah, I didn't talk to you too much last year about it, but there were a lot of kind of rumours and things like that maybe there were some sort of setup issues you were struggling with last year. It seems like you've put all of those behind you now, and I don't know if it's a new bike or you just found some good things, but at the moment, it looks like rider and machine are in a very, very well balanced, let's put it that way.
Yeah, like you said, now the balance is okay. That was, let's say, the main issue that I had last year. But also, I think I also grow up and learn something from what happened last year, because last year I was really focused on having the perfect bike, always, especially coming in from 2023 season where everything was perfect, and because in the beginning of the year that was not the expectations, but then in the end it become to be a super nice year. And so for 24 I was searching the perfection, but you cannot have. So for 25 I learned from that and I say, okay, focus on training and try to adapt a little bit more on the bike. Of course, there is always a limit. The bike needs to help you, otherwise it's not going to work. But I have the feeling that I also did a step mentally, and that's why I think I feel better this season.
Yeah, well, you started the season on a high. You won the first qualifying race win in Argentina, and then with that, obviously, you took the red plate. Okay, that GP didn't really go to plan, but were you happy with that brand new track? Because it was the same for everyone, wasn't it? And just how you were riding in that first race.
Honestly, I really like new tracks.
Yeah.
It's super nice always to discover new tracks, and especially this one. Oh, mamma mia, the first time that I arrived, I felt like in Nangtown, you know?
Yeah.
So, wow, this is amazing. So I really enjoy, and I was looking forward to the weekend. And the first few laps of the quali race, I was really surprised of myself, because normally I'm always quite calm on the first laps, but there in 2-3 laps I take the lead, and then I did my moto and I win. So I was super happy. Then on Sunday, definitely didn't go as all we wanted, but it's things that can happen. It's part of the game. I accept, and then we just move forward, because if you think could have been if, but is not gonna bring you nowhere.
Exactly.
The first moto I had to walk away, and then that's it. And then I reset and go for the second one.
Yeah.
How good was it to pick up that first qualifying race win? Because it had been a while, hasn't it, since your last race? It was like Lugo race 1, wasn't it? So that, especially so early on in the season, just to get that race win off your back, how good did that feel?
No, it was amazing. Also because the first quali race is not like the other ones. If you win the quali race, you go on Sunday with a red plate. So that was nice to see my bike with a red plate. It was a long time that I was not seeing it, and but was also a confirmation that what we did in the winter with Joel and was working. It worked well. So was important for me. Already I felt pretty good at the preseason races, but preseason races is always, you know, I was sure that all the riders were giving their best, but you don't know.
Yeah.
But when you come into World Championship, then you know that everybody will leave everything on the line. So was a big confirmation.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we've had 5 rounds. You've been on the podium the last 3 Grand Prix. You've had 2 Grand Prix wins as well. How important was it, and how good was it to win in France at Saint-Jean-d'Angely and do it with a race win?
No, it was important. I felt on Saturday I felt good, but I didn't put everything together, and that's what I on the evening I put one Instagram post where I write P5 decent day, but let's try to put everything together for tomorrow, and that's what I did on Sunday. So was super, and I did my moto in the first one really consistent and behind Simon, putting good laps, and then for the second one, I think the second moto honestly was one of the toughest moto that I remember in MX2, because was really from the first to the last lap flat out from everybody. So was amazing, and then to take the lead at 4 or 5 laps to go, he passed me back, and then I find one crazy line on the grass and cut back on the inside. I really wanted that moto, and I did everything to get it.
Yeah.
And also last weekend in Trentino, another home GP victory for you, Andrea, actually where you got your first MX2 overall. You looked solid all weekend. You looked like you really enjoyed riding out there. Okay, a few moments that you were a little bit frustrated with, but with the fans and the response with that, you looked like you had a really good weekend.
No, it was definitely was really good weekend. On Saturday, not. I made a small crash, and then I completely destroyed my quali race. But on Sunday, I really again put everything together.
Yeah.
I missed one lap in both motos, one lap, because I was not so focused like I should have been with the lappers, and I was a little bit too careful, and the people behind me not.
Yeah.
They saw me that I was careful, and they pushed even more, so they closed the gap.
But there's more risk like that when you're not careful as well.
Exactly. So the line is really thin to being careful and to not. But anyway, I was super happy to win the overall and to give the fans what they deserve.
How was that moment there? Because when you won there a couple of years ago, I don't recall you enjoying the moment. Like, yeah, you enjoyed it, but this felt a little bit more special, and you went through the goggles and celebrated, and you flexed the muscles, and it was great on TV and great theatre, if you like.
No, it was great. I didn't want to. In the end, I said, no, I'm not gonna do it. I didn't win the moto, but in the end, I said, you know what? I won the GP. Those people are here cheering for me, so they deserve. And I went there and I threw the goggles. That's the only thing that I could throw there. But no, was super.
Like, where's he gone? I'm waiting for my post-race interview. And I was like, where is he?
Yes.
I was with Valet.
Yes.
What, has he got lost? Like, where
Yes.
did he go?
But was a little bit strange, because when I come back, I take my bike and the clutch lever was broken, because I said to one guy, hold the bike. Boom, bike fell down. But anyway, it was nice.
Okay, well, look, Andrea, you're on a roll at the moment. Keep it up. Enjoy this weekend. And, yeah, we'll see you again at some point during the rest of the season. But,
of course.
Yeah, enjoy this weekend as well.
Thank you.
All right, that was Andrea ADAMO. We've got Kevin STRIJBOS coming in a moment. But before we do catch up with him, here's a little snippet from episode 5, I think it is now, Bucket and Spade from Behind the Gate. And you can watch this full episode online if you've not seen it already.
We
Sado is an Italian circuit, but it's not your typical hard-packed terrain. It's deep sand. We're pretty much on the beach. And Michele Rinaldi, the first ever Italian motocross world champion, once said that the best thing you can do in the sand is to play with a bucket and a spade. It just seems so hectic in MX2 at the moment, in a good way. But one thing's for sure, Kai de Wolf knows that we've got a series of hard-packed tracks coming up on the calendar, and he really wants to profit as much as he can right now, score those points in the sand, and get ahead of his championship rivals early on.
Everts takes his place behind the grid. Will he be the red plate holder come the end of the day? Timo Langenfelder, winner of the qualifying race on Saturday, goes to the line on pole position ahead of Everts and Sasha Coonan. Defending champion Kai de Wolf dropped to third in the overall standings after a difficult round 3 in France. He'll be hoping to leave here with the red plate again, reattached to his Nissan Husqvarna. And that's the view down into that first turn. Very heavy when they get to that braking zone as well. Fly racing 15-second border for the first time today. 30 minutes plus 2 MX2 race 1 here at Sado, the MXGP of Sardinia. Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. We are in Switzerland, the MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS. Our second guest joins us now, of course, former World Championship rider. He's now team trainer for Fantic Factory MXGP, Kevin STRIJBOS. Kevin, great to see you. Not sure if it's the first time we've had you in here or not, or whatever, but welcome. And here you are, team trainer since you retired. And it's your second year now with Fantic. How did that decision come about for you? Kind of what led you down that path? Because some riders do schools, some just want to be a manager, some want to, leave completely.
Yeah, so I think my last race, Mantova 2021, Antti came up to me and to ask me if I wanted to be a team trainer for them. So I did, and it was a big change, of course. I was not really confident because I was always a rider, so it is something different, but it all went okay, I think. And last year was my first year with Fantic. I feel really good with them. The team works hard and it's very very good, very familiar, let's say. And it's nice to work also with 3 riders. Always 2 riders or 1 rider, and now this year 3 riders. So it's quite some work, but it's fine.
Like you say, your second year with Fantic. What does your day-to-day job kind of involve? How often are you spending the time with the riders? Are they all riding together, training together? Is that part of your thing? Is it just the ride side or the track side? Yeah,
actually, I do everything. I make schedules. I train with them. I cycle with them. Everything. So I go to practices. I try to do as much as possible that they ride with 3 guys on the same track, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes one guy wants to go there or it doesn't ride. So, that's actually my job. I'm there every time with them, and at the same time I stay in shape also a little bit. So it's nice. Yeah.
And what does a typical training day look like for you, Kevin? Does it change throughout the course of the week? So is every day different? Do you focus on just the riding, or do you do the physical side of things as well? Are you always with them, or do they do their own thing as well?
Well, I feel like if you have 3 riders, it's a bit more difficult to go every time with them. But most of the time, at least I'm in the workshop to do gym training or cycling or swimming or run. So I'm always with one of them, and many times at the moment, if they want to stay home, because I also understand, if you have to travel a lot and then they want to stay home to cycle just easy 1 hour, yeah, also fine, you know, then they can stay home. We keep in touch every day, and so I always know what they do and how they feel.
Yeah.
And, so, yeah.
And you said 3 riders. Are they all similar in terms of their fitness level, or is one maybe fitter or stronger than the others? And is that something you have to manage as well with the training programs?
Yeah, I think we both had a good winter, of
Yeah.
course, and everybody is basically on the same level,
Right.
but yeah, one is a little bit faster or better runner or better cyclist, so that's where we need to see a little bit with. But I think they all felt good. Also during weekdays on the practices, they all ride good. Like for example, Glenn is very fast also weekend. With Andrea, he's very fast in training, and weekends is a little bit difficult sometimes, you know. But he's very young and he's still a little bit up and down. But I think there's way more things to go for him. And same thing with Brian. Yeah, he's a little bit older yet, but he's very good on the physical side and riding side as well in the week. Just at the moment in the weekends it's a little bit difficult, but I'm sure we get there. He was sick 2 weeks ago, and so yeah, I just came back and yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
obviously we're 5 rounds down. Glenn is on a bit of a roll at the moment. 3 podiums, 5 rounds. How much of that is down to him being super motivated? Because yeah, he's the other side of 30 now. Looks better than ever. But how much of that is also down to the fact that he's got the youngster in Andrea kind of maybe pushing and snapping at the heels, and just all 3 guys more often than not riding and pushing each other along?
Well, I think Glenn, he's old and he knows what he wants, you know. He's not so difficult to work with, of course. And also there, you know, it's not like I do the schedules and this is what you have to do. I don't do that. I just talk with them to see which way we can find. And some things is different than Andrea or with Brian. And but anyway, you know, I think Glenn is very good. He's really happy with his bike. I think that's the main thing. We made a big step last year with Vantik with the bike, and he's very happy. So yeah, I think that's main, you know, and also how we treat his body over the many years. You know, I think that's why he's still on the top of his game. And because you see many riders, yeah, they just joke and they laugh and they don't go to physio or whatever. And yeah, in the end, it's it pays off, you know. So I think that's why he's still very motivated, and he can do 1-2 years for sure.
And obviously, Andrea Bonacorsi, he's had a podium as well. It's his first full season in MXGP. People forget how young he is. What, he 20? Just 21, I think.
Yes.
It looks like there's a lot more to come from him. And what's he like to be around on day to day?
Yeah, sure. You know, like he's very kind guy. He's a very easy guy. He's always good. You know. He always laughs, and so it's nice to work with him as well, because it's a young guy, and then I think with young guys you can go a little bit more. I mean, you can shape them a little bit more in the way to left and right, and he had 1 podium, and like I said, you know, he's very good. He's still young, so there's so much progress still to come, and it's normal, like I said, if you go up and down a little bit during the weekends, but for sure we have to smooth it out and be ready.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like you mentioned, Brian is back this weekend. Is he fully recovered from his sickness? And he's definitely a rider that's kind of just been on a journey. I mean, it was not so long ago he didn't have a ride. He was just going to get a proper job. So it's been a process for him as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure. You know, like, yeah, he was actually working when we called him last year. And so, yeah, now he was sick 2 weeks ago. He's still not really healthy, but it's getting better, you know. So we decided to give it a try here and to see how it goes. For example, with him, you know, he wants to ride a lot and he needs to ride a lot to get in shape. So that's why we're here. And I think he's good, you know. He knows the other side of it now, you know, because he was almost working. So I think he knows what it is, and I'm sure he's still very motivated to do very well.
And actually, he's one rider that appreciates everything that he's got right now.
Yes, yeah, sure, yes, because he lost it, and then he get it back. So for sure, he's very happy.
Yeah, cool. Well, look, Kevin, we are out of time, but thanks for stopping by. All the best to you, the team, and the riders this weekend as well, and for the rest of the season. And we'll see you again in the future.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Kevin.
Right, before we catch up with our final guest, Herjan BRAKKE, let's take another visit to Behind the Gate, episode 5, Bucket and Spades. A little bit more from Riola. Enjoy. McClellan up to third. He's found his way past ADAMO. Goes for the option around the outside again, side by side like he was a lap ago, and hops his way through, hanging off the back of the machine again. This time, De Wolf does find his way past and into the lead on lap 13. You know there's going to be comeback here though from Koenen.
In MX2, one rider who is constantly on everybody's radar is Sascha Koenen. And we saw it again in Riola through the free practice, the time practice, and in the races as well. His speed in 2025 is absolutely electrifying. The only problem is he can't keep it on two wheels, and that has been his Achilles heel so far this year.
Koenen's down, crashes down again. Just pushing too hard. Will cross the line. He will win race 1. Hello everybody, welcome back to the final part of our studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland, the MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS. Our final guest joins us now, Herjan BRAKKE. He's the team manager for Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2. Herjan, you've been on quite a journey so far. Good to see you. First time in the studio show, of course. Former rider, rider turned trainer, trainer now team manager. Yeah, what a journey. How did that all come about?
Yeah, it's first of all, thanks for having me here.
That's okay, you can leave now, thanks.
Thanks a lot. And yeah, it's definitely been a journey, you know. I tried myself to ride to make a career. I decided to stop after an injury, end of 2014. And then I said, okay, what am I gonna do now? I study myself as a mechanic, as a crew chief after, just in a garage or something. So first thing I say, you know, I'm gonna be a mechanic. So I decided to do 1 year as a mechanic for EMX rider. And by the end of the year, the Dutch Federation asked me to become a coach.
Yeah.
Even Yamaha Europe asked me to become a test rider. So I said, wow, cool. It's like all new things, all opportunities. So I jumped into this. I did 2 years the federation to work with the young guys like Kay de Wolf, Kassemaker, all these kids. Super nice. And then Wim Hutten showed up, the owner of the Hutten Metal team. And yeah, he explained me his plans, that he want to have a team and he want to take care about the riders as much as we take care about the material. So I said, wow, that's a nice journey, you know. Let's go into this. And that's how we started. After 1 year, Yamaha came up with their development program to do the EMX. So I go into this as a rider coach and a physical trainer and all together, let's say. So I did this for a couple of years.
And now here you are, factory team manager. Job done. Easy.
So, I don't know. It's I like to challenge myself in many ways, and this is definitely a challenge. And yeah, I love it.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, how is the pressure then of being a factory team manager?
The pressure.
Is there any?
Yeah, there is always pressure to deliver, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's normal. That's part of the sport. So yeah, there is, but I feel like there has to be. That's also our motivation.
Yeah.
Well, you have 3 riders. Okay, let's start with Thibaut Benestan. 2 qualifying race wins, 2 podiums, a race win now. How are you feeling his season has gone so far?
Thibaut is, you know, in this season I see a different guy. He's really charging, and he has his difficulties, but also he had his good results already. So far, I think we are building. We are going in the right direction. Things will slowly click together. So I think he will only get better from now on. So yeah, so far so good.
Because Thibaut, he trains in France, doesn't he, with Yves de Mario? Are you the sort of person to think, oh, do you know what, as long as he's doing the work, he can train where he wants, or would you prefer them to train all the riders together?
That's an interesting question, because our team was always like we were a team together. We train together, we do everything together. It's especially based on the EMX program, because there we were developing riders. They need to understand to become professional. What is training? What is a structure? What is being at 9 in the morning in the gym? Be there really at 9, you know? But now we are in MX2. They are more mature, and in the end, they need to deliver. Let's say, or we want to deliver them, that they become the best version of themselves. We try many things with Thibaut. Thibaut was in the Kamea team. He was with us last season, and this is his final season in the MX2. He said, I would like to be in the South. And at the end of the year, we as a team said, I think it's good to have an extra set of eyes on you, to look at yourself, maybe to develop you even more. So we came up with Yves de Maria, and that's where we are right now. And it's I'm really happy with that, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was a nice win, by the way.
Yes, that was a roller coaster of emotions that day.
Yeah. It's been a tough start for Rick Elzing. Obviously, he picked up an elbow injury at the beginning of the season, but he seems to be finding his form now. Are you expecting more? Is there more to come from Rick going forward? And if so, where do you expect him to sort of reach that point of, okay, now he's 100%, if he's not already?
Yeah, it was a pity at one of our first tests for the new season. He picked up his elbow injury, and he missed 4 weeks. So 4 times on the bike just before Argentina. Happy to be there at least, but yeah, he really, let's say, there was no base. And we are building right now. He was far off. Things are getting better and better from Riola on. The speed is slowly coming, the physics is getting there, the consistency start to come back. He's not 100% yet.
No.
When is a good question, you know. Motocross is always the thing, yeah, now we are ready, but yeah, we need to give the time, let's say.
And
so
it doesn't help that we are 3 in a row. There's no time to do all the things you want to do, test the bike, you know, improve the fitness. After this weekend, we have a weekend off. You can do something, but it's not easy, is it?
No, it's definitely not easy. So we need to stay calm. We need to support him fully. We need to see how he is doing and listen to him, to his comments, let's say, and then we can help him the best, and then he can be the best version of himself.
Yeah. Well, he did make the podium a couple of times last year, didn't he? Can 100% Rick make it to the podium again this year? Can that happen?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. Well, finally, Carlos Razulis. Some good rides when he stepped into MX2 mid-season last year. How long before we can start seeing those similar types of performances this year?
Soon, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, like last year he jumped in and it was a big surprise.
Yeah.
He was giving everything and he showed really raw speed. Physic-wise, he was not on the level yet. And this season he is physically better, but we have also a new bike, new noise regulations. We had to figure out some things, and the beginning of the season was a little bit of a struggle, let's say. He was a bit off, but we are working, and we are getting closer and closer. So I think soon we will see the same Carlos again.
Because I spoke to Carlos in Indonesia last year when he just got the ride, and he was just so happy, no pressure, living his best life, and maybe just didn't feel any pressure, and he was just enjoying it a bit more, you know. Now it's his second year, and it's a bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
On his shoulders.
I don't know. I don't feel that Carlos is putting a lot of pressure on himself. Of course, he wants to achieve good results, let's say. And from last year on, yeah, he have expectations, let's say, because he finished second in a moto over here in Switzerland, and a couple of times fourth overall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he have. He's a guy from Latvia, and he's really enjoying the opportunity he get still. And yeah, like I said, it's just a matter of clicking things together.
Just real quick, how's his car? Because when he became a factory rider last year, it was like, no, I can enjoy my BMW. And it's like, You know what I mean? It's not brand new, but it's not old, but it's just like his pride and joy.
Yeah, definitely. He's living at the team, and he has his BMW in front of his apartment. And yeah, when we see him riding, he's very proud.
Yeah. Well, look, Herjan, good to see you, and all the best with you and the team from here going forward. But we are out of time. Don't leave just yet. Just to let the viewers know what's coming up on MXGPTV.com. Of course, we've got the time practice 1:36, very precise timing, and then of course MXGP time practice, and we've got 1:25 presented by FMF Racing, Race 1 and EMX 250, then the qualifying races later on. Well, that's it. We're going to take a week off, aren't we, after this? We'll see you back when we return in Portugal a couple of weeks' time. So from me, Lisa, everybody here behind the scenes, thanks to all our guests. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Easter weekend as well. See you soon. Bye for now.